Picture this. It's a bright and shiny Monday morning. You just clocked into work or you're just hanging out at home and you get that beautiful text that the Pokemon Center drops are here. So you run to your computer, you log in, you see, you log into the Pokemon Center's website just to find this beautiful beast.
What the fuck?
And I know what you're thinking. Monday was a disaster. Monday was a horrible, crazy cluster of a day. But we need to talk about the issues that this all brings about to the hobby. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a wild next few months. 2025 is going to be the peak of what I think the Pokemon hobby is all about right now. But will it be the beginning of the end of the peak of the monstrosity of the craziness that this hobby is bringing to everybody? But before we get into everything, I did want to shout out today's video sponsor, me. Guys, feel free to check out my website, pokebellcardhouse.com. We have a little bit of a Japanese restock. We still have some items available. Feel free to check out what we have. Battle Partners, Surging Sparks, Heatwave, Arena, a little bit of Terrestrial Festival left, all in the shop if you check out pokebellcardhouse.com. If you check out our website and you'll see this pop up, thank you for visiting our shop. If you sign up for our email list, you will get 5% off your first order. So I appreciate you checking out the shop, placing an order. It only helps support me, support the shop, support the channel, so that we can be able to get more and more product and more content to you guys. So thank you for checking out pokebellcardhouse.com. Sign up for our email list and check out our product, baby. So let's get into Destined Rivals. Monday morning, as everybody is aware, the Pokemon Center queue debacle was completely insane. Everybody was greeted by this lovely bad boy. Everybody had this up on their screens all day, all morning, just to get either little to no product. Luckily, in my favor, I am part of some Discords where like some leaks were happening and they were like, okay, jump in, now's the time. I feel like I was able to get into the queue quite early before I started seeing all the massive posts about the sharing that the queue was open. However, even though I do feel like I was a little bit early, by the time I got into the site, the only product that I could see was the Pokemon Center ATBs. I was able to snag one, but then that was it. I checked out of the one ATB, tried to see if there was anything else that I may have missed, and I could not find anything. So that tells me that the booster boxes, the sleeve blisters, and the booster bundles sold out extremely quick. Now, I say that. For hours and hours and hours, the ETBs still seemed to be up and for sale for quite a bit. Now you have all kinds of people trying to get into the site, whether they were getting booted out of the lobby or trying to figure out how to get in properly. I heard people say that they were waiting in line for up to 5-6 hours. Some managed to get some product, some didn't get anything at all. So it's really just a massive cluster of what the Pokemon Center queue system is like. Now, there's got to be a system. There can't be anything of, Pokemon Center can't have their sites crashing all the time. So I get the need for the queue system. But there's also a lot of frustration in the community of just the lack of product. Now, I will say they probably printed the ETBs into oblivion. So it's, how that was able to be in stock for so long and so many people. I don't know. Only time will tell whenever the product actually gets released that we'll see how many truly were put out in circulation. And then you have the issues of people were waking up the next day seeing that the orders were getting canceled from the Pokemon Center. Unfortunately, I don't have any of that issues from what I can tell, but that was also going in circulation too. So this is truly a massive issue that Pokemon Center has to fix. The only way it's going to get fixed is if they start printing more product, getting more out in circulation, or if the true community starts dying down and dialing it back, and the interest in Pokemon cards starts going down. But unfortunately, I don't see that happening in the near future. But let's move on a little bit. We are talking about the latest stuff going on over in Poke Beach. This is the Japanese Team Rocket set, Glory of Team Rocket. It has been announced and released on will be released on April 18th. But these are some of the cards that are coming up, and that's driving this craziness for Destined Rivals. So we knew we have Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX that's possibly coming. This is the pack art for everything coming in. These are the ETBs, and from what I can tell, everybody is super stoked with the artwork of this set. It's going to look like a beautiful set. Like I said, Heatwave Arena is already out, the first half of the Destined Rivals set, but this is only driving the community engagement and the community hype even more. So you see all this crazy product that's getting released. People are super stoked about it. People are just, the hype has never been crazier for another product. It was only until recently where you started seeing the Pokemon Center actually sell out upon release, and that was Prismatic Evolutions, when that was starting to drop. But Destined Rivals seemed to hit a whole new level. These are, as of this morning, these are some of the latest cards that have been released that are going to be, this is in the Glory of Team Rocket set, but obviously will be in the Destined Rivals set. And then as early as this morning, this was recorded on Wednesday, March 26th, we did confirm a Team Rocket's Wobbuffet art rare coming in. So I know that's going to be super stoked for a lot of the Wobbuffet fans or the Team Rocket fans. This actually is a beautiful, beautiful card. I'm very excited to see this and possibly add it to my collection. I will say this. So before Destined Rivals comes, Team Rocket, the Glory of Team Rocket will be coming in from Japan first. From my guys in Japan, I do not have any word yet on the pricing. It's from what I'm hearing in other Discords and other places, it is looking like it's going to be over $2,000 a case right now. Now, obviously, as all Japanese sets do, as soon as they get released, there's always a premium to get it early. Now, as soon as they get released, it will drop. How far it'll drop, who knows? And how quickly that'll happen, who knows? I will probably hold out until my guys start selling individual booster boxes instead of selling me by the case in pre-release, just because I don't want to feed into that crazy hype. You know, Japanese MSRP has always been $35, $45, $50 for a booster box, and the fact that you started with Surging Sparks, Terrestrial Festival, Heatwave Arena have all surpassed that. It's absolutely insane, and I have literally heard from people in the Japanese Pokemon community that they are truly doing this because the demand is there. It's not because, you know, they have less product. They have plenty of product. It's not because it's becoming more expensive to print. Absolutely not. Japanese printers, Pokemon Japanese printers have just been off the charts, and they've been printing to oblivion over there. But it's simply because Americans desire Japanese product way more now because English is getting so hard to find, so that because of the demand, the price is going up, and it's being successful. People are buying at these higher prices. So it's a crazy world we live in right now, but you know, that's all I can say about it at the moment. Destined Rivals will truly be one of the biggest sets, I think, in Pokemon ever. Is the hype worth it? Who knows? Is what's going to happen with all these sets before it and after it? I think we're just in such a unique situation that the Pokemon community is in, with the lack of product, the biggest peak, the apex in demand that there probably ever has been in the Pokemon community, and you are seeing the benefits or the harm of it because of it all. You know, Pokemon is in a very unique situation right now. They announced months ago that they were going to ramp up their printing, but you know, nothing happens instantaneously. It takes time for Pokemon to start printing and get back to where the demand is being met. Now, what set will come out by the time where they finally have printed to demand? I don't think it's really going to be anything in 2025, you know, so the scarcity to me and the way I see things will continue well throughout Destined Rivals. We have the black and white set that's projected to come out later this year, and then everybody knows that next year is the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, so that's only going to be drawing more hype too. So maybe, hopefully by the holiday season of this year, we'll start seeing a little bit more of printing to demand, so if more product is available, prices will calm down, the interest will calm down. Well, the interest may still stay, but because there's more product available, prices can definitely come down and more people can get their hands onto some product. But I say all this saying, what did I say in the video? Will Destined Rivals be the peak of what the Pokemon hobby has reached? And personally, I think it will. Destined Rivals, we've never seen any set perform like this. So just to show you the pandemonium of what is happening, Monday morning, after everybody claimed as much of product from the Pokemon Center that they could, everybody is immediately throwing all their pre-order allocations, or I say allocations, but just whatever they were able to snag from pre-orders, immediately on eBay. So just take a look at what all is happening on eBay right now. These are all current listings as of Wednesday, March 26th. You have booster boxes going for $350, and ETB and booster box for $150. That seems crazy. That doesn't even seem that's even below MSRP. $400 for a Pokemon Center ETB confirmed pre-sale. Real, okay, so it's everybody is going crazy right now. Everybody is anticipating that this set will not be printed to demand. And just to show you, people are actually buying this stuff. If you scroll down to the sold items, these are sold items. Look, sold today, March 26th, $60 for a Pokemon Center ETB, $370 for a Pokemon Center ETB, $395 for a Pokemon Center ETB, $375, $388, $400 best offer accepted for a regular ETB. People are buying this crap into oblivion because they are so worried that there is not going to be any out there, and if they don't buy it now, they'll never be able to get their hands on it in the future. This is a real problem. Pokemon needs to do something about the way they are getting their product to the consumers. And I know everybody's heard about the whole MJ Holdings debacle that's been happening over the last few weeks. And I know everybody has already talked about GT Collectibles redacting all of their Pokemon product from Walmart's website. And that just brings me to kind of my next point. There's a little bit of a conspiracy theory that I have going on. If anybody was paying attention to the Pokemon community and what they were saying whenever they were going to Walmart stores after MJ Holdings or GT Collectibles redacted their products from Walmart's website, you started seeing images like this. This is from my local Walmart. A buddy of mine was going to Walmart. This was literally at the end of last week, and all of a sudden you see product. Where did all of this product come from? And it's just like, okay, you have all the craziness and the MJ Holdings, backdooring to GT Collectibles, their subsidiary selling directly on Pokemon's website or Walmart's website for MSRP. And then as soon as that gets shut down, you start to see Walmart stores have product again. These are screenshots found on Twitter late last week. All of a sudden, Walmart has new stock. And these are, older Scarlet and Violet sets. So it's like, where is all of this stuff coming from? This was obviously, ignore the 10 hours ago. This was several days ago, either late last week. So it's crazy. It mind blows me that I think, something actually happened, whether it was Walmart that was actually putting a stop to it and saying, hey, this is unfair practices, you got to shut down, your Pokemon product in our store, or if it was MJ Holdings say, oh, we got caught, let's dial it back. Nobody knows the actual answer to that, but I think it's really, really interesting. After the whole community was getting real fired up about the whole MJ Holdings thing, and like I said, Dr. Applesauce and some other guys had some good videos basically discovering it. But after all that starts blowing up and gaining traction, Walmart has product all of a sudden. So you can only, imagine that there's some validity to all of these theories, and that, hey, maybe now that they couldn't, they weren't backdooring to their subsidiary, they actually had to give the product to Walmart to sell at MSRP. So, I think it only confirms all that stuff is true. So that's just a little bit of my take. I started seeing a little bit of all those tweets and posts and all the craziness. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. So it's absolutely insane. But I say all of this to not only help inform you, the members of the Pokemon community, my loyal subscribers here on YouTube, but just to spread awareness and to give a little bit of encouragement. It's not going to be about chasing the newest set, chasing everything. You know, there are people out there who are on budgets, who can't afford, you know, Pokemon was one of the cheapest things that you could afford because, you know, you could go to Walmart and spend, you know, a few bucks on a pack, or, you know, 20-30 bucks on a few packs and enjoy a nice little afternoon, opening some packs, seeing what the hits you got, whether it's you as a collector, you like to rip with your family. You know, me personally, you know, I just posted a TikTok the other day about me and my son ripping a pack together, and it's one of the joyous things that I have to look forward to as my son grows up and gets into the hobby and enjoys ripping. And, you know, with me having my own shop and me doing my own rip and ship, stuff like that, it only fuels me a little bit more because I know that my current kid, my future kids, will enjoy it just as much as I do, and I have that window to share those joyous moments with them. So again, this is more of a moment of encouragement. This hobby is crazy right now. We've seen this hobby grow to new heights and new craziness, and with that there's going to be some negatives. However, that doesn't mean, you know, you've seen people talk about, oh, this hobby sucks now. People have ruined this hobby. I'm going to leave and I'm never coming back. And it's really sad and it's unfortunate. Now, again, you got to do what you got to do. You know, if you're done, you're done. Nobody's going to stop you. However, this too shall pass. All, you know, the scalpers, you know, the scalpers are, again, people have said, the symptom of the problem and not the biggest problem. Pokemon needs to do something about their distribution, how they manage and damage control everything that's been happening over the last 6 months, and they need to get to more quality product to the consumer at a fair price. And, you know, the less product there is out there, the more scalpers come in and people try to upcharge. And you know, it's simple economics. You know, demand is high, prices are high. Demand is low, prices are low. And it's less about the demand and more about the scarcity of everything. You know, so if we just have less scarcity, you know, the demand can stay the same, but if everybody's buying, prices will come down. So that's my take. It'll pass. Just keep your heads up. But with all that being said, you have to be okay with not getting the product at release. Again, I have Heatwave Arena up in my shop right now. I didn't jump on the bandwagon of pre-ordering Heatwave Arena whenever it was $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 a case from Japan. I did not jump on that. I waited until after release. So me as a business owner, as a shop, and as a rip and shipper, I lose business whenever if you're not the first one to have the product, you lose business. You know, because people, they're selfish, they're impatient, they want to get the product fast. So me as a business, yeah, I got hurt a little bit whenever I didn't have Heatwave Arena on release weekend. I had it the following weekend, but it helped me, it helped my margins, but I'm still selling it at a reasonable price, just a little bit of a markup from whatever I was able to buy it for, but it's still sitting around market price, even whenever I got it a week late. And the prices are actually coming down, so we'll see how it holds over the next few weeks. But you have to be okay with missing out a little bit to keep going in the hobby and not lose faith. If you need to go back to some early Scarlet and Violet or even some Sword and Shield, everything's getting expensive, yes, but you don't have to chase the then and now. Maybe whenever Journey Together is coming out this weekend, maybe whenever Destined Rivals gets closer to release, Journey Together might be, a little bit more reasonable at that time. There's always a different avenue that you can chase. There's always something else that you can pour into that's a little bit more manageable and a little bit easier on you and your budget and things like that. Me as a shop, I will do my best to obtain the product that I can and sell it at a reasonable price. That's to me what it's all about. I've had many people hop in my streams and say, man, this is the cheapest price that I've seen battle partners at Heatwave Arena. I'm like, yeah, because you go on TikTok or whatnot or any of the other rip and ship platforms, you have people selling for double MSRP, and I don't like that. you know, especially as a small streamer and as a small business owner. I don't have the community that all these other people have. So what do I have? I have price, and I have, you know, the transparency to bring a point of value to my customers and to my followers. So that's what I strive to be. I don't want to, you know, scale up the product. I want to make my margin, but also get it to the people at an affordable price. That's what I believe. That's what I stand on. That's what I try to run my business as. But speaking of people with integrity and encouragement into the hobby, I have to shout out Harrison from the Pokédex Marketplace. Harrison reached out to me. He is a awesome dude. He has a community of collectors, of business owners, all trying to come together for the love of the hobby. It's less about, you know, making money. I mean, obviously, if you're a business owner, you have to make money to keep going, but it's more about the collective greater good for the people in this community. He has a Discord called the Rare Candy Collective. So I'll link everything in the bio. I am in it. I am one of the creators in there. There's some other people you may recognize that make postings on here on YouTube and other social media. So feel free to hop in, say what's up to Harrison, and just meet the community. Tons of good and quality creators and just regular collectors in there. So if you're looking to find a place to meet some new people, have a good time, learn more about the Pokemon hobby, or just share your experiences, share your hits, share your frustrations, there's plenty of good people in there. So I encourage you to join. Check out the Rare Candy Collective Discord, and check out the Pokédex Marketplace on YouTube. I'll post everything in the Discord or in the description so that you can take a look at them. But shout out to those guys. There's some good people over there. But that's going to do it for today's video. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Check out my socials. Check out PokeballCardHouse.com. Again, if you join our email list, you will get 5% off your very first order whenever shopping with us. We do have Battle Partners, Heatwave, Terrestrial Festival, all that in the shop. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the love. Thank you for gaining some subscribership over my first few videos. Check out my Twilight Rip series. Love and support. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you real soon.